Hey travelers, welcome back to The Rift here on Ghostlight. Listen, there's a lot of buzz around this recent update to No Man's Sky's experimental branch. In fact, I did an episode of The Rift yesterday, amidst my excitement over editing my save to get all the goods. But today, I want to talk about something a little different. Recently, there's been a lot of talk about the implications of the title of this expedition, Omega. Now, Omega is the final letter of the Greek alphabet, often signifying the end of something. I've had a lot of comments both here and on Twitter, worried that with the impending release of Light No Fire, Hello Games may be sunsetting its continued support of the game, updating it to a maintenance phase, one that can sustain its own replayability using its current content. Now, I did a whole episode of this a while back, linked above, but the TLDR is basically this. No Man's Sky is still generating revenue for the studio. It seems foolish to sunset support in favor of a game that hasn't yet been released. More importantly, one that hasn't yet proven itself to succeed No Man's Sky and become the primary revenue stream for the studio. So, what of Omega? Well, Sean Murray did say that we're in the middle of a 4-part story arc, the Void Mother Saga. Hashtag Void Mother Saga. Now, Omega could indicate the end of just this story arc. The end of that arc may bring with it huge implications for the lore of the game. And the Omega expedition and accompanying major update may be taking us into a whole new chapter in the story of No Man's Sky. Now, I've played a bit of the trial expedition, experienced some of the lore therein, which does feel a little incomplete to me, to be honest. And I have to say, it seems that perhaps Omega is a reference to something else entirely. Us, the player. Iteration 239-4829-08-4924-924G. The Last Traveler. The Omega. If you've been watching this channel as it's grown this past year, you know I have some feelings on the topic of Null and their place in all of this. Null, the first traveler, seems to be in cahoots with the Void Mother. There's a passage from the Sentinel Pillars I like to read. It goes like this. You could be whole again, Telemon. You could be free. We will reconstruct the Creator. All travelers will be one again. The first, the last. And again, there's a reference from the autophage during the Interceptor update, which simply reads, Alpha through Omega. All of that to say, I think the title, Omega, is more story-driven than a sign of the beginning of the end. The new expedition seems to be focused on exploring the Traveler's subroutine lore. It seems the Atlas is taking a more hands-on approach in the coming year. You know, I don't know what this means, but there are some interesting interactions early on when accessing your ship and the anomaly for the first time. You see references to the iteration that came before you. Previously, this iteration was simply referred to by the same numbers ending in a different letter, but in these new interactions, they're referred to as LETO. Nada mentions this when you first speak to them. In their typical interactions, they say that we are familiar to them but different. Nada even makes reference to not knowing the number and not liking to refer to us in such a way. And what's interesting about this is that in Greek mythology, LETO is the mother of both Apollo and Artemis, and the side chick to Zeus, which Hera isn't really that pumped about. Now, I don't know the reason for this change, but it's interesting, and it gives us a whole new iteration introduced into the game lore. So what do you think? Why did they make this change? Let me know in the comments below. Moving on, we've all seen some images and some video of the new Atlas gear, which I'm pretty excited to get on my main save on PS5, but there are a few other features that aren't really making a huge splash, but maybe they should be. That Bomber Boy is at it again over on Twitter, posting interesting tidbits as he goes through the game files. So, big shout out to you, TBB. First off, He reports there's a dummy entry in the patch notes, just a copy and paste of echoes. Now he's speculating that this is a placeholder for an update to be released alongside the newest expedition, which is exciting. There are also new options added to the Atlas path, likely to connect the story arc to the larger arc more fluidly. He references an item called the Mark of the Denier. Also, apparently we'll have the option to pay off system pilots when we accidentally fire upon them. Oops. It appears that travelers who travel back to the anomaly will now be teleported directly to the terminus room, which just makes a lot of sense. And finally, this new experimental branch update allows you to acquire a pirate dreadnought as your freighter. Now, this is really exciting. I haven't yet been able to get the pirate dreadnought battles to trigger in the experimental branch, likely because it's a new save. But I hope to see some video from other creators showing this soon. And good things happen when you pass out before posting a video, because just this morning that Bomber Boy posted that there are module ship part descriptors alongside other customization options, such as the multi-tool staff, player character customization parts, pet accessories, vehicle decals, and so on. This could be an indicator that we're finally getting the long sought after ship customization option. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm pretty excited about this. Now, I know a lot of YouTubers are live streaming the new trial version of the expedition, and I'm not planning on posting any videos about this specifically, only because I've seen some of the story, and because it feels incomplete. I want to experience the expedition in its full glory when it's released, hopefully next week. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Rift. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. A big shout out to my YouTube members at the Rift Walker level, Miss Merc and Raging Furball. And as always, dear Rift Walkers, I'll see you tonight.